Question number 6. A ship is sailing in a straight line from its home port. The distance time graph shows 4 hours of the journey. Work out the speed of the ship during these 4 hours. Okay, well all they want is the slope or gradient of that line. But there are a couple of slightly tricky little things you have to look out for. First of all, look at the vertical axis. You've got to get the scale of that correct. And in fact, if you look at that axis, you'll see that 5 tiny squares corresponds to 20 miles. And therefore, one little square is 4 miles. So for every little square going up, that's 4 miles. The other thing you need to watch out for is the fact that you are going to measure the gradient of this line. So it's the difference in the height divided by the distance across. You've got to be very careful about where you measure from. For instance, you can't measure from there because that line doesn't go exactly through the point 3 hours and 100 miles. It's not exact. That won't do. Similarly, you can't measure from there. Again, it's not going through an exact point. Well, fortunately, you can use the endpoints. That point there is one tiny square below 120 miles. And remembering that one tiny square is 4 miles, that's 116 miles. And down at this end here, that's 40 plus 2 tiny squares, that's 48 miles. Now, the distance reading across is very simple. That's 4 hours. They've told us that. So we need to do 116 miles, take away 48 miles, and divide that by 4 hours. So 116 take away 48, that's 68 miles, divided by 4 hours. 4 into 68 goes 17 mph. So there you are. 2 things to watch out for there. First of all, what is the scale on both axes? Is it tricky on either of them? On the horizontal axis, no. One big square is 1 hour. But on the vertical axis, yes. One tiny square is 4 miles. So be careful with that. And secondly, don't start it at any point you like. Your measurement at any point you like. In theory, you can do. But if you look at those 2 points in the middle, they're not going through an exact number of miles. So you can't use those. In fact, in this particular case, use the 2 endpoints.